So my wife, Kate, and I have been enjoying a relatively new role-playing video game for about a couple months now. About 6 months into it, we started to get curious about using relationships in the game to our advantage, and we agreed to keep the relationships strictly in character. I never took the in-game relationships to heart, and the interactions with the other players never went past a bit of flirting. When I spoke to them outside of the game, it was always good natured and along the lines of, "Hey, what's up, dude?" as if they were old friends. What I came to realize was that Kate's in game relationships were not the same. Over the past 3 months, our marriage had gotten really unstable, and during this rocky period, I relinquished my household chores and retreated into my own little shell. This change in my behavior was due to her ignoring me and disregarding my wants and needs. It seemed like if she wasn't playing the game, then she would either be in a Discord call with people playing the game or watching their Twitch live streams. This new hobby of hers would interfere with moments she and I would normally cherish, such as movie nights and playtime with the kids. She would even skip dinner, where we would normally all sit around the table and chat about our day. She began staying up until 2 to 3 a.m. playing with this guy, even though she had work at 6 a.m. This in turn led to her sleeping throughout the afternoon and leaving me to take care of our 1 year old because she was too tired. I tried to not think too much of the late nights because I understood and could relate to playing an addictive game and sometimes losing track of the amount of time which had passed. Last, but definitely not least, she began to turn me down when I would try to initiate sex and reject any of my attempts of intimacy. All of these issues piled on, and I had reached my breaking point, so I approached her about my concerns with ignoring me and being too into the game, and that we needed to spend some time together. She shot back at me that I didn't do enough around the house, and that's why she had shut me out. We spoke for about an hour and agreed to work on things and get our marriage back to where it used to be. The following day, I had to leave town for work and would not return until a few days later. When I got back home from my work trip, things seemed better. I thought she had taken our talk seriously and decided to change for the better. We eventually had sex, and that is when I started feeling as if something was off. I became suspicious, which led me to take a look into her Discord DMs. My suspicions were justified as I scrolled through and came across messages from this guy. We'll call him Felix. Felix was sending my wife messages saying, "Good morning, gorgeous," and "I still haven't closed my Snapchat because I keep looking at your sexy picture." Among the messages was him constantly probing at any signs or hints that she is upset with me. Later that evening, I confront Kate about what I had seen in her Discord messages, and she swears up and down that they were just friends, and the gorgeous and sexy comments were meant for her game character. I figured she was lying and just trying to wiggle her way out, so I then asked to see her Snapchat. She hesitated, turned pale, and then asked why would I want to see her Snapchat. At that point, I was beginning to boil with anger, and I think she saw it in my eyes, so she handed me her phone. I opened her Snapchat, and what I saw hurt me inside from my throat to my heart down to my stomach. I was hurt to the point I was unable to react for what felt like 2 minutes. I just stood there looking at her phone screen. They had been exchanging nudes. Kate was sending this guy pictures and videos of herself masturbating, and he was doing the same. He was sending her cute stuff I have sent her before, and messages like, "I love you, babe." I was furious. I tried storming out of the room, but she begged me to stop and not wake the kids. After some time, I finally listened to what she had to say. She said she wanted to leave me for some time and the cheating was only recent. I don't believe her, since the timestamps on her messages date back 3 months. She said after our last talk, she stopped everything with him because we had agreed to work things out. She admitted that she never stopped talking to him until I caught her. I made her block him on everything. If we were going to work things out, then she couldn't entertain any form of communication or gameplay with him. After she cut off all communication with him, things got a little better within a few days. We both have been extremely happy. All the stuff we had neglected and stopped were resumed. The household is in a much better state since we began doing all the chores together, delegating responsibilities between each other, spending more quality time with the kids, and dare I say, we even took our intimacy to another level, and the sex has been crazy. It was feeling a lot like when we initially began dating. Then, one day after dinner, while I was going over some notes from work and she was in the kitchen washing the dishes, I had a friend contact me on Discord to show me proof that she was still talking to Felix. I immediately pushed my work aside and charged into the kitchen to confront her about it. She proceeded to lie to me, saying she didn't know what I was talking about. After almost begging her to come clean and be honest with me, I was left no choice but to then show her the proof I had. They thought they were being sneaky by him changing his Discord name before joining the channel with her. What the genius didn't do was unlink his Twitch account from his Discord, and that's how I found out. She told me the talk was just letting him know they were done and she was fixing things with me. And also some bullshit about how he had an invite to the Discord from a long time ago and must have used it to talk to her. Another excuse she told me was that he changed his name beforehand because a lot of people in the gaming community we were in found out about what happened, so he was trying to stay under the radar. I looked at the audit logs on the Discord and saw that she first created an invite, then created a locked channel in which she transferred him into, and afterwards he changed his name. I'm not sure what to believe anymore. Things have continued to be great between us, but I can't trust anything she says. Others who play the game and are familiar with him have told me that my wife is the sixth woman they know that Felix has tried doing this with. It seemed like he gets into their heads to try and break up relationships so he can have them for his own. I've also been told and shown evidence that he does this until another girl comes along, then he ghosts the last one. I've told my wife this and she doesn't believe me and has kept on trying to defend him. The irony is that Kate was the first one who told me about Felix and previous girls, but now she seems to have forgotten about it. I want to forgive my wife and work on this, but I don't know how to continue. I can't trust anything she says, and this is always in the back of my mind. Things have been so much better lately, and we both keep putting in the effort to fix things with hopes I can one day regain her trust. I'm planning to set up marriage counseling for us in hopes that it helps, and she agreed to the idea. So we'll see.